who has had who had the biggest impact on the person you have become?
This is a tough question for me.
Easy.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a very tough one. I mean, can't really.
I say my mom. Like hands down.
My mama.
Like who's fed me? My mama. Who made sure I go to school, which was literally just crossing the street. My mama. It was like my mom really held down the fort. And like even though I'm not the youngest kid in the family, I have a little sister. I'm the baby of the family.
You're the
Damn.
baby.
Which is why I will say my mom has had the biggest impact and she loves me the most.
That's sweet.
Damn. Okay.
Shout out to all the moms in the world.
Yeah. Shout out to all the moms out there.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So we for real, we talked. We didn't really say much, but we were talking to ourselves basically
Skip the intro.
for the past like 2 minutes or something, because I thought I pressed record and then I'm like, I looked at the computer screen and I'm like, wait, why isn't it? Oh, I forgot to hit record. You know how it be. It's a Saturday night. Welcome to the show, hosted by Michael and Miguel. Today we have a guest. His name is Mario. He's been on the show a lot of times already. Probably the most appeared guest in like the history of On My Mind. So there you go. He's on soundboard duty tonight, and just a little quick introduction for those who don't know him. Miguel and I met him the summer before our freshman fall. He was quite the character. I remember he liked to come up with nicknames for himself that weren't his actual name, and that's how he would introduce himself to strangers with like, I remember Timothy D was the classic. He's also like just super funny. He's super chill. He's from New York. He dances. He's, academically determined, I think is the word I used earlier. And he's cuffed up. He's kind of settled down now at Bowdoin, and we have him here on the show today. Welcome back.
Hello, y'all. Well, in the previous, I guess, unrecorded part.
The lost recording.
Yeah. So I was just saying how like I'm just sick and academic wise, it's like work piles up. A lot of my friends like work piling up. It's okay. We have 2 weeks left. All the stress is gonna it's gonna be worth it. We're just gonna go home, relax.
That's the hope.
Yeah, that is the hope. But we gotta put in the effort first. And personally, I'm a little stressed, but that's okay. I'm gonna take time out of my day to come back on the podcast as I am doing right now.
Yeah.
How are y'all doing? How's like the stress going?
Could be better. I think. Yeah.
I forgot my water.
I am not necessarily swamped, but I do have a lot to do. I have to edit a film for final project. I have to write 2 papers. I have to do a presentation on Monday, and then I have to take an exam, a final exam eventually. So,
damn.
And then on top of that, I also have to do editing. What else? I also have to work on my application for study abroad.
Miguel looks so tense right now. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just
he's like twiddling with the microphone cable or the headphone cable.
I'm thinking about everything, and then it's just crazy.
It is overwhelming.
No, yeah, and also I don't want to get sick again either. So that's also.
Yeah, I'm gonna be masked up for the remaining 2 weeks because I'm playing no games. Now
you said masked up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be masked up. Like I already was doing that like for the duration of this week. Here's an exception. I left my mask in chamber. That's okay. But Michael, how's your stress going?
I'd say I'm in like a pretty nice spot where I do have challenges ahead of me, but I'm not too worried about them, and I'm very, very confident that I can get my way through the week. But we have one more week of classes, then we have a quick like 5 days for reading period, and then finals week, and then we'll be out of here. And that's honestly the end. the end goal, the thing that I'm looking at the most. I'm excited for the most. I didn't get to go anywhere for Thanksgiving break or for fall break, and so I was kind of just here. And I'm very, very ready to leave Brunswick, Maine. I mean, it's a charming place, but after a while, especially during the cold, dark winters, it's not the place you want to be when you live in Southern California, you know? So that I'm very excited to be going home. I do have like 2 projects to work on and some assignments and exams to get through, but overall, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm definitely, like I said, ready to leave though.
Yep. I don't know. I'm ready to leave too, but also there's this like lingering just feeling that, you know how like when you go, like when you don't have anything planned for the break, you kind of just sit in your house and do nothing. I'm kind of afraid of that. I mean, obviously, I will try to find stuff. I have things to do over the break. Obviously,
I got to get my financial aid stuff together.
Yeah, like I have to like do FAFSA or whatever. Do financial aid. I have to do a couple of applications over the break. But you know, it's just like weird, like transitioning from being like busy all the time to all of a sudden you have like
nothing to do.
You don't have any classes. You don't have any like really obligations in terms of like scheduling. So I don't know. I feel weird about that. Hopefully, what's up?
Well, I was gonna ask a question, but you can finish your thought.
You can ask me the question.
I was gonna say, do you feel like you work best on like do you feel like you need a routine?
Yes.
Or like an agenda? You know, it's like, all right, here's the things I need to get done through the day, kind of like a checklist. And as you go through the day, just kind of.
Yes, that is how my life works. Without that, my life would not work. So, yeah, that's why I mean, as much as I like to poop on.
Poop? That's a strong word.
I think we have to censor that. There you go. As long, as much as I like to say that I, don't like work and that work can be too much, at the same time, it's nice because it allows me to structure a lot of things and, just being busy, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, you don't want to like burn out or anything. I'm not like, there's, how like there's that toxic hustle culture where like you have to be like go all the time or whatever.
Yeah.
And like basically like,
me in high school.
like tear yourself apart just to, have a 4.0 GPA.
Oh God.
I didn't even get a 4.0.
So it's like, obviously I'm not trying to advocate for that type of mentality, but, I just think that, having a routine and just, doing what you like to do in terms of, academics and extracurriculars is pretty good, even if it gets a little bit, busy or hectic, I think, as long as you stick to it.
Yeah, I would say that I do love the routine aspect of boating, but while I do love that aspect, it's also I feel like I got screwed over this semester with the scheduling that I got after like round 1 and round 2 of registration. I had like 4 classes like every Monday, Wednesday.
Oh wow!
4 classes Monday, Wednesday, and then you have labs too, right?
I have a lab on Thursdays.
Pray for this man.
So next semester, I also had bad luck. I got into 2 half credit courses, which is gonna be like nice and like decreasing stress, but at the same time, I didn't get into like this other science course besides organic chemistry that like I really wanted to get into in order to make study abroad possible. And I emailed a professor talking about like if I study abroad and take this class, would it count? And then he said no, something along those lines. It's like, dang, now I really have to like wait and worry about getting into like a certain class so I could go study abroad, or else I'm gonna stay here, and that is not the vibe.
What are you minoring in?
I'm not minoring in anything. I'm just trying to do a major. Like that's the point. That's how I go about things. It's just like you just need a major in the end of the day. It's nice to like shout outs to those who go the extra mile to double major or like pursue a minor. But it's like I'd rather. That sounded wrong. That sounded like some R.
Yeah.
Kelly stuff.
Okay, yeah. I'll sit in my corner with my cinema studies minor. Don't worry about
This
me.
man is still trying to figure out his major.
Yeah, it's okay. There's
I mean, I just think it's kind of like interesting how we're pretty much expected to kind of have like the idea of what we want to do with our lives by 20 when we like declare.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like most people would be 20 by the sophomore year of college. But yeah, I mean, like I've always kind of in the sense of when you don't know what you want to do, I always kind of focus on trying to like set myself up for as many opportunities as possible, which is kind of like the idea behind me going computer science and education, like coordinate majors. Cause it's like, if I want to teach, I can do that. Or like, if I want to go into computer science, I can also do that. And like both fields have such like diverse options. And that was kind of like the idea with kind of going with that major. And I think that's what I'm going to declare. In terms of like a minor, I might minor in math, but I'll have to take a look at all the requirements and stuff and see what I'll have to do. Because I'm going to be taking a bunch of math classes anyway. So, I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of nice to have that little extra sense of achievement. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
just a
really
little
taking
thing.
advantage of the 4 years that we have here. And I mean, I didn't even consider education when I first came in as a first year. And now it's kind of like I'm dead set on it. So that's, I don't know, like it's kind of interesting to see the path to like how we get to these, like when we make these decisions.
what brought you to that decision?
The fact that my advisor was like he's the head of the education department here at Bowdoin. And I took an education class this semester, which is like the intro level course, but I kind of like, I would say it's one of my favorite classes. I can't say it is the favorite. I know we only have 4, but like, it's definitely hard to choose because like when you're taking classes like math and then education and then computer science, like they're all like appealing in their different ways to me. And so it's very hard to kind of place classes on top of each other, or like rank them over each other. But, I would say like taking that education class and like the conversations we have here or we have in that class, like it just really makes you think. And I've definitely had a lot of times where like I reflect on my educational experience from K through 12 and being like, okay, now I kind of have a better understanding of like why things were, and kind of also a little bit concerned. You know, because like education is like such a weirdly like controversial area.
Yeah, it's
It
politicized.
is very politicized.
Here in the United States, for those who aren't
Right. Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
United States.
Which, by the way, that reminds me actually. I wonder if I can access it through here, but we have a Spotify Wrapped for the podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Copyright.
I took a look at this and I was like, I want to do this on the show.
Wait, Michael.
What
this is like fully copyrighted music.
What do you mean?
Well, no, because it's like, actually, I don't know. But anyway, here's, we've created 2,341 minutes this year. And that's more than 94% of other creators in the category of leisure, which is what we're categorized as. So like we make way more minutes of content, but anyway. All right, so let's explore our rap. This is something I like totally forgot I wanted to do. And then you talking about other countries reminded me because it talks about that. 2022. Also, I don't think there's any volume for this, so we're just going to kind of read you
Yeah, we'll
like
just
what's
read it,
happening.
whatever.
Is that a better view?
Yeah.
On My Mind, the podcast, your rap has arrived. Jump in.
Uh-oh.
Whoa. In 2022, you did your thing.
Okay. People loved it.
The people loved it.
Wow, this is going by so slow. These transitions.
You created 2,341 minutes of new content. That's more than 94% of other creators in the leisure category.
Yeah, these other creators don't got shit on us.
Let's go.
Oh.
No, you can cuss. It's okay.
Oh,
Shit,
okay.
shit. Anyways.
Whoa. You can't hear us, but we're clapping right now.
Hey, clapping what?
Oh, we really need like a clapping one. One episode really grabbed your listeners' attention. Can you guess your number one? That was the one with Weatherspoon.
What's the interview game?
The interview game was the number
That's
one.
happened.
Which one was that one?
So I did this last spring. This is before you were a co-host.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't remember that.
The episode 23, shout out to Andrew, Maya, Vilma, and Ricky. That episode is really fun. We played the job. I don't know have I played that with you guys yet?
No, we should do it.
The I forgot what it's called. It's like the interview game with the cards. You gotta.
Next week.
I forgot what it's called.
Next week.
Next week is actually going to be the finale of this season. If we're going to try to break up our, basically like the seasons go along with the semesters.
Yeah.
So like, it's the end of the semester for us. So it's obviously going to be the end of the season.
What is it? Season 3?
This is, I guess. Well, season 4, if you want to count the summer, those episodes are something else, but episode 23 had 112% more streams than our average episode, which is pretty cool. That episode did pop off. Your podcast loves to travel. Wow. They really went all out with like these transitions for like
Yeah,
nothing.
it takes forever.
It was heard in 6 countries. Your top 5 were the United States, Australia, Sweden, Brazil, and Poland. I was expecting Germany to be up here.
Well,
Germany?
It's probably YouTube only. Remember?
No, like this was on the. Hold on, I'm gonna bust out the
Spotify.
analytics.
Wait, wasn't there more or that was it?
There's more. Hold on. I forgot how crappy this wheel is. Like Germany takes up 6% of like our listeners.
Well,
But I guess they weren't. We lost them, bro.
maybe Apple Podcasts. I don't know.
We lost them, dude.
We lost them.
No, because this data is based off Spotify, I think. Oh no, just kidding. Actually, that might be.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably just through other platforms.
Yeah, maybe.
This is only Spotify.
This is only Spotify. Anyway, that's Poland. That one was the interesting one that I didn't think we'd get.
These transitions are so basic.
Something magical happened between May 1st and May 7th. You had 225% more listeners compared to your average week. I believe that is around the time I shared the interview game.
Well,
That would make sense.
that would make sense.
What are On My Mind, the podcast listeners like exactly?
This is actually scary. Like they're doxing these people.
Calculating listeners' personalities.
Oh,
Your listener's podcast personality is the devotee. This means that when your fans love a podcast, they really love it. They're quick to support new releases and play their favorite episodes over and over.
So we have like
We had devoted listeners.
we have what are they called? Stands. On My Mind podcast.
Let's go.
stands.
You've released 14 video episodes this year. You look great, by the way. It's funny because we don't show our faces.
Yeah. You're funny. Spotify.
You're so funny. Oh my god, the lag.
no, for real.
It's good to talk it out.
4.
You created 1 poll and 4 Q&As, and listeners joined in for a whopping one time. Let's go. I think it was Sebastian.
We like pressured him to do it.
Have you been working out? I have not, bro. I've not been in the gym
Me
in
neither,
many
bro.
months.
Yeah.
Your podcast saw a lot of gains this year. We got an increase in hours by 286 we have an increase in streams by 268%. We got double the listeners as they grew 200%. And we got 187% more followers in 2022. We're growing.
Yeah, we're
You know, it's slow, but we're growing.
slow and steady.
You and your fans have something special.
Yeah, a parasocial relationship. That's what that is.
I love you guys. You guys are amazing.
You guys are my best friend.
Bro's not
We are-
sugarcoating anything.
We are the #1 podcast for 4 people.
Okay.
We are a top 5 podcast for 13 people. And we are a top 10 podcast for 17 people. That's actually wild.
Shout
out to you guys.
You guys.
The 4 people who have us as your #1, it's amazing.
Imagine being able to connect with those 4 people.
Whoa! Sorry, though. On My Mind, the podcast. Thank you for sharing your podcast with the world.
No, imagine, but
That was a cool effect.
imagine if there was a way to connect with those 4 people.
Have them on the show. That'd be fun.
Yeah. If
Speaking
you're one
of
of those
sharing.
4 people, put a comment down below.
Contact us on Instagram at OMM the podcast.
Contact us and we'll try to.
Yeah, and this is just like a Spotify rap thing. I want to click the share button.
I think you just have to click it.
This is cool. I mean, as like a computer science kid, like I know that there's JavaScript behind this like thing where like depending on where your mouse is, it'll kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just cool. I don't know.
If then,
Thank you, Mario.
if move mouse, then do stuff.
Follow. Anyway, yeah, it's like we have some crazy Ireland.
I clicked the wrong one.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, Ireland.
Ireland, Vietnam, South Africa, Guyana, Portugal, Mexico, India, Netherlands, UK, Australia, Brazil, Germany, and the US are all like countries that we have listeners in.
Yeah, I wonder like how many.
Oh, I see. Look, 67% of our listeners use Apple Podcasts.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder. I mean, if Apple Music doesn't do like the Wrapped or whatever,
Yeah, 'cause
I
they're
doubt
not cool.
podcast. Yeah.
They're not cool.
If
like
you use Spotify, you're superior. It's a fact.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, that's
leave a
our
comment down below. Which,
We have-
streaming platform is superior, either Spotify or.
We have
Apple
over
Music.
1,000 plays.
Yeah.
7 plays per episode on
Current
average.
balance $0.
Let's view my wallet.
0.
I could like turn on subscriptions where like if people want to subscribe to the show, like Twitch subscribe, they can
Oh, bro.
they can like pay like $5 a month for,
Yeah,
for
but,
like bonus content or whatever we might do for perks.
Bro, we only have 4 devoted people. This
And
dog-
I maybe one of them would pay, but I don't know. Personally though, I feel like we're not at that level yet. When I can dedicate more time to this, which may never be ever,
Yeah,
but
during
you know,
college, yeah, because we're pretty busy.
On My Mind, featuring my computer science coworkers down the line.
yeah. Anyway, Mario's the guest, so that was a cool little segment. I forgot what we were talking about before the Wrapped. I just remember you brought up different countries, and then I was like, oh,
I forgot.
I forgot.
I forgot.
Anyway, so Mario's the guest, so today we're going to be asking him some interesting questions, and I feel like these can be for anyone really to answer, but I got a random topic generator and conversation starters.
Bye. Capitalize my title.
My title's in red. Anyway,
Let's talk
so-
business.
today we have options to do topics for anyone, for business, for couples, for family, and for essays. Which one do we think is going to be like the best?
Why don't we spin a wheel?
We doing that?
Yeah.
Instead of spinning a wheel, we can do like the random number generator.
I mean, I was thinking. I mean, because if we get couples, then how is that going to correspond to our guest?
I have no
We're
idea.
not in a romantic relationship. With
4.
We're
Fam-
family.
I guess
Family.
we are family. Yeah.
What word or saying from the past do you think should come back, Mario? I feel like you know a lot of New York slang.
No, I'm like, I'm thinking since this has to do with family, that's the topic, right?
Let's remove the topic
Yeah.
from
It's just
the
a
question.
question. Yeah.
From the question.
We're not your family.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. You just said okay. Oh. Hey. Anyway, yeah. What word or saying, and you guys can participate in the comments as well. Let us know what word or saying from the past do you think should come back.
Okay. So it's like my mom. It's from my mom. It has to do with family. I feel like it's a Spanish word. Coño. Like it.
What does it mean?
It means like, but JJ.
And what's the JJ?
I'm not gonna say the whole word.
What?
Vagina.
You just said you're not gonna say.
Okay, but like,
Anyways,
it's a response to like something bad happening.
It's like fuck.
Yeah, like coño.
That was very passionate.
And my mom says coñazo when something goes wrong, and then I started
Whoa.
saying it, but I haven't said it in a while. Yeah, it's like they just use a lot of curse words in my family, especially my grandma. So funny story. No, she uses derogatory words. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk about that though.
Don't cancel Mario's grandma, please.
Cancel Mario's grandma.
Yeah, my grandma's gonna die anyway, so
Oh my god.
she don't even know how to use a
Next
phone.
question.
Okay.
Can you think of any technology that has only made the world worse? How about a piece of technology? Oh,
Okay,
answer the first question first.
I think nuclear bombs have made the world worse.
Fair enough.
There's always these countries like talking about potentially busting out their arms and stuff like that in case that things head south. Like it's like so scary living in the times where like someone could easily, well, figuratively press a red button and then like everything gets nuked.
Yeah.
But as for a piece of technology that has made the world better,
Yeah.
is the iPad.
How so?
Well,
How has it made your world better?
Yeah. Specifically the iPad.
the iPad, like, it brought me something that many toddlers are experiencing now. Like, I could like watch everything on like a slightly bigger screen,
Mm.
and like the school offers it for free, and also it comes with the Apple Pencil,
Mm.
which before mine's broke, like I was constantly using. I feel bad for the current Bowdoin students. Like they have the iPad Mini. It's like those baby tablets and stuff like that. And I was like, those are actually toddler devices right there. It's like, and then I saw like one of my mentees. Oh my gosh, she was trying to read a text, and like the words were so zoomed in. It was like it's such a scam. So we got it lucky with our regular superior iPad models and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I feel
Oh no. Go.
I feel like devices like the iPad and like that Apple laptop or Microsoft laptop, I feel like it just offering those devices could bridge the gap between like poor people and rich people. And like, so I'm glad that these institutions like our college is offering that for the free.
For the free.
For the free.
Free.
It just really makes it easier, though. I do feel that like there's always a cost that comes with it. Like each newer model is more expensive, and that just like creates the divide between like poor people who are not getting the opportunity to come to a prestigious institution like Bowdoin. So it's like there's always a cost that comes with something great, and like that cost is like a greater digital divide.
Gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. Anyways, do they even have the M1 chip or the M2 chip or whatever the fuck?
We have the M1 chip.
But like the what's it called?
The new ones, I think, also have the M1.
Yeah, but the ones that the freshmen have.
Yeah.
I think those are M2.
M2?
Yeah, I think they also have like their laptops have double the
Storage.
storage. Yeah.
I was ranting about this to my roommate earlier, because the new like Mac OS update like came out, or it was like authorized for us to download from Bowdoin IT, And I don't know about your guys' situations, but I'm already out of storage space on my laptop, so I can't download this update. So I got kind of screwed over. But I already vented about this. Basically, it doesn't make sense to, like, if you're giving us a laptop, right? Like, for school, I feel like longevity should have been the priority.
Yeah.
And obviously with longevity, it's like you want to invest in the storage, but they invested in the memory, the CPU, RAM, because our laptops aren't the base model. The base model has 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it also has 256 gigabytes of storage. But ours have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and then 256 gigabytes of storage, and it costs the exact same to get 8 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage, than like what we have. And I feel like the M1 chip will optimize the software enough where 8 gigabytes is definitely enough, especially for like most students' needs. And so to me, I was like, it's kind of dumb to invest when they cost the exact same in like the power compared to getting more storage, which, you know, I mean, whatever. It's like, it's done.
Play Minecraft in 16 gigs.
Talk about equitable Bowden.
Yeah, that was the whole drama that came out like a couple months ago.
Shout out to Bowden IT. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and then they were like, damn, we messed up, so we're gonna give all the other students more storage, same power though.
Yeah, it's equitable. Like, even the rich people get a laptop, even though they could have easily afforded it. But
I mean, they're kind of paying for like tuition here. So.
their parents pay their
I'm here for
tuition.
free, dog.
Yeah, I'm here because my skin is brown.
I can't say the same.
Yeah, I can't say the same either.
No, I mean, we already had that conversation plenty of times. If you want to hear about that, just like
Listen to like another episode.
Yeah, just listen to that episode.
Listen
We're
to-
not going down that rabbit hole again.
Listen to
What
episode
the
3.
Okay,
What's your favorite number and why?
Oh,
Mario, what's your favorite number? Can I guess?
yeah.
7.
That's basic.
17.
No,
22.
no.
He's a January kid, right? 1.
Yeah. No,
2.
3.
4.
no.
Nah, all right, Mario.
Alright,
What's your favorite
yeah.
number?
25.
25.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Why? Tell us right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just always like 25 cents. Like, the quarter always seemed appealing to me. And also,
Yeah.
it also aligns with the fact that we're graduating
Okay.
2025.
2025, yeah.
And not only that, like, I'm pretty sure, like, age 25, like, us guys peak in strength. Something along those lines. So I'm going to be at my strongest at 25, hopefully.
I don't know. I can't really say if that's true or not. I don't know. I would have maybe. I don't know.
Someone, yeah, that part's probably wrong, but everything else, like, everything else,
Yeah.
like, that justifies why my favorite number is 25.
Yeah. No, I just found that interesting because my favorite number is also 25. But I was born on February 5th. That's where I get the 25.
Oh, 25. 25.
It's just a number that keeps recurring in my life, and I've kind of grown to like it. The podcast was released on originally May 25th, 2020. Which, by the way, I completely missed the 2-year anniversary not that long ago. Then the re-release came out on September 25th, 2021. And that was when like this whole rebrand kind of started.
Yeah.
And that was, 25. And then of course, like Mario said, we graduate 2025. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a number that like I wore number 20. I wanted to get 25 on my jersey for Ultimate Frisbee, but it was taken. So
What
Damn.
number?
23.
Oh,
The next best thing. 24 was
Boring.
taken. 26 was taken. I wanted 25.
I say my next favorite number is 26 because I was born on the 26th.
I was trying to remember when his birthday was.
But anyways, next question.
Where would you like to travel next, bro? These are some of the most basic.
Well, because it's family.
All right, business. What animal? What animal?
interesting.
What animal or insect do you wish humans could eradicate? You don't have to answer why. Just which animal?
Armadillos.
Okay. No offense taken.
Armadillos just like deteriorated and turned into dust as we
Yeah,
speak.
but it's gonna affect the ecosystem.
The
The ecosystem, my G.
Ecosystem.
The ecosystem.
Sorry.
It's
Brain
just like what the bats have. They have the ecosystem.
What do armadillos even contribute besides just rolling around and like with their long tongue?
They balance.
I feel like every
population.
species has a purpose in an ecosystem.
Mosquitoes
Mosquitoes
really
they're just like
think about it.
rebels, bro.
Leeches. They only need us to get pregnant. Yeah, only the females bite us to get pregnant.
Oh, this is interesting. What are you gonna do this weekend, Mario?
Oh, this weekend you can see I'm doing this podcast episode. It's a lovely Saturday,
night,
yeah.
It's a
boys.
Saturday night.
And after I'm gonna have to like.
We're gonna go party. We're gonna go get lit. We're gonna get drunk. And
Oh my god! Last night was a movie.
Last night was a movie.
Last night was a movie, bro.
Yeah. Last night was a cinematic masterpiece.
What was your worst vacation experience?
I'm going to my brother's place during winter break because I got COVID. After like
It's
he
tough.
took, yeah, it's real tough. I always get sick during winter. It's okay. I'm used to it.
What can I do to help you achieve a goal that you might have in mind?
I don't think you can help me with finishing my paper. But I guess you could be a supportive friend.
What is something you're obsessed with?
My girlfriend.
Hey, hey, hey.
I love my girlfriend.
Yeah, he was keeping that, bro. No hesitation.
hesitation.
The moment I like read it out, this man knew exactly what to say. It's a
Yeah.
smart man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, next topic.
You should tell her to listen at 36 minutes.
36 minutes. But what if some
So
some
she
of
can
the
hear you talk about armadillos, but then also say what you said.
okay.
Or hear you say,
Yeah.
Yep.
oh. What are the 3 best apps on your phone? These are way better questions than the family.
Yeah. Well, it's business.
I wonder what mine are.
The most used apps is TikTok, because that's where I get my memes. Instagram, that's where I talk to my friends and also get memes. And Corsical.
Corsical. Threw me in for a loop there.
That's how you get your life on track.
For me, I would say YouTube's my number one because I like watching YouTube. I got premium, and that's one of the best investments I've made so far. Because I didn't realize how much YouTube I watch until, and I don't know, like I realized I fly by all the content without having to watch ads and stuff. Then I would say Instagram, because like that's, I don't know, Instagram is cool. I use it sparingly though. Like sometimes I'll have binges where I'm like on it for a couple hours and then I won't really touch it again for a while.
Okay.
And then my third one would probably be Spotify because screw Apple Music.
Okay, Miguel, what are your
Wait. So are we
3
doing
best apps?
like
I don't know,
best apps according to me, or best apps according to how
to me
much
those
I
are
use?
those are like my top 3 apps that I both like.
Where do you even look?
Those weren't my top 3 apps based on screen time. Those were just like my 3 favorite apps that I find myself doing
know.
using
I guess-
most.
Does Spotify count as an app?
yeah.
Sure. I mean, I said it.
Yeah, no, Spotify. For me,
Duolingo's up there for me too.
that's one of them. Another one, obviously YouTube.
You guys have games on your phone?
Wait, hold on. Let me
I
check.
have Pokemon Go, but I don't play.
Uh,
I also have Geometry Dash. I don't
I have
play that
Heads Up.
either.
I have Heads Up. I have Dead by Daylight. I have Among Us. I have Minecraft. I have Pixel Gun 3D.
this guy got everything.
I have
he's a
Crossy
mobile
Road.
gamer.
He's a mobile gamer. Oh.
And yeah, that's about it.
Bird.
Hell no.
Apparently, you can't play that anymore.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, do you text or call more?
I text more.
Why?
Psych, I lied. Wait, hold on. Let me think about this.
Shit.
I text more.
I definitely text.
Like calling people, like, it's only, you never know if they're going to pick up. But like if you text, like, at least you just wait for a response. I feel like that's better than like waiting for them to call back.
You know
I
what?
What?
What were you gonna say?
Nothing. Go on, Miguel.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just so much more for the dogs.
Yeah, we gotta love these ads.
Unleash the holiday values.
I was gonna say, you know, there's people. There's like this sort of anxiety that people have when picking up phone calls.
Do you guys ever pick up like stranger phone calls, like
Yeah,
numbers that you don't know?
I also do prank calls.
Okay, he's doubting himself. Anyways, yeah, but like there's like this sometimes like apparently. I mean, I don't personally have that. Whenever a stranger does call that I don't know of, you know, obviously I would pick up because you know it might be like someone important or whatever. But obviously most of the time it's just spam calls, so I just hang up. But there's like people who like even if they know the person that's calling, they would like hang up on them and then text them.
What the hell?
Like, it's like apparently
yeah.
that's a thing that
Oh,
a lot
gosh.
of people do, and I'm surprised because you know, like I would wonder how many times that has happened to me where I call someone and then they just hang up on me for the sake of not wanting to call me.
I feel like I would only ever do that if I was like in class.
Oh yeah, like if you're in class or something, I understand. But, like sometimes there are like people have.
But like even if you're available.
Yeah,
like,
even if you're
yeah.
available, like there's
That makes
some
sense.
people have like anxiety,
Yeah.
with phone calls.
I also
or
do like
whatever.
a podcast, so I'm not really afraid of a call.
Yeah.
I like talking
Like
to
if
people.
Clayton Rose called me up right now, I would just answer him.
That's a very like weird example.
Bro,
I don't know.
It's like off the top of the dome, just
It's like-
Clayton Rose.
Well, because it's like someone important. I don't know.
Clayton Rose wouldn't
Damn,
call
not
a
even your
minority
mom,
like you,
bro.
Miguel.
You wouldn't call a minority like me.
Yeah.
You definitely call me a come over here, bro. Like,
Honestly, I would never call my little sister. Like, every time I try to call her, she's like, she uses the automatic message.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
it says hold on, and then she never follows up. Never follows up.
Damn. All right. What is something that app makers do that really annoys you?
I hate,
ads.
I hate the ads.
I mean, you gotta respect,
The grind,
People
yeah.
gotta get that back.
Yeah, but like the ads are the worst. Like they just
That's why I'm like
like you could
premium everything, bro.
You could do better with ads. Like,
I would, when it comes to mobile games, this is why I don't play mobile games.
exactly.
I would definitely pay you $5 to have a game with no ads than to play a free game with ads.
You
That
know,
like happens after every round of something. I can't.
you know what? I hate like the app makers who go around promoting their apps on YouTube. Like they have like those videos,
Yo,
like and like it has nothing
commercials, bro.
nothing to do with their own game, with the gameplay that's in their apps. Like Mafia City, like starting off at level 0 and then you become a level 100 boss in the span of 2 minutes.
What's that
And then
one
the
app?
gameplay is like so bad.
There's this one app that like does skits that they're like self-conscious about it too, that they know it's stupid, but like they play off of that. I forget. Like there's, I remember seeing one where it's like one of the guys like gets caught cheating or whatever, and then he's all like, "Oh yeah, but do you have a level 86 warrior or
Oh
whatever?"
my god!
You know what I'm talking about?
I know. What
I don't know what app it's for.
I'm pretty sure it's for several. I mean, I don't know. I've seen apparently like there are like
I was gonna look it up, but I
celebrities
forgot.
that are paid to promote these apps to.
Yeah.
That's a great one. The
So,
marketing.
so, yeah.
Yo, but like marketing low key like works though, because it's like,
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't work if I don't remember the app
No,
or
I
like
think-
didn't play it.
It's just it works.
I think in today's
because
society it works.
It you know really more or less they're targeted toward. I mean, I guess these types of ads that we're talking about or the apps.
Yeah.
They're more targeted towards children. So it's
Right.
like, you know, they like.
Which is scary, bro.
I know.
It's so scary.
It's like that's the next generation, and you know, being fed this type of content, it's just like I'm afraid.
Bro, I barely had access to the internet. Like I barely used the computer in my the desktop in my parents' room.
Yeah.
And, like I didn't have a phone till I was in 7th grade. So like I really thank God like I was not like getting scammed or like I had like these influences that are like, oh, pay this amount and stuff like that.
The free Clash of Clans gems.
Yeah, like oh, free iPhone spinning wheel. I mean, they still do those type of scams, but it's like people are way more aware nowadays. Unless like
I don't know, that's debatable.
I feel like if they're still up and running, kind of
it's
means
debatable.
something.
yeah, oh my gosh, crypto scams are so stupid.
I mean, yeah, they kind of just evolved to.
Yeah, crypto scams a new scam.
That's a good question. What is your biggest priority right now?
Just making sure I get my work done in a timely fashion. Trying to make sure I go on vacation. Yeah, just make it to vacation, bro.
Isn't it weird that like we consider vacation our homes now?
Yeah. That's true.
It's like, man, I can't wait to go on vacation, aka my room.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, me and Miguel, like, we ran into someone
Miguel and I.
who has 0 finals.
Oh yeah. Well, he has one. And
it's done on the 12th.
12.
He's gonna do it on the 12th. After that, he's home.
Yeah.
I respect it.
It's crazy how things play out. I feel like last year was like, it played out nicely for me last year. But like, I feel like that's the only year it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I was gonna have. I was gonna have an exam on the 18th. Now I'm leaving on the 19th.
Oh.
And where was I going with that? Oh, he made like a poll for everyone in the class, and people answered, and they wanted to take the exam earlier, like the week before, and like so he's giving us that option, because I know like the registrar's office gives them like time blocks that they have to apply for.
Yeah.
And it's like all in like a lottery system, or I don't know how they do it, but
Yeah.
Mario's dancing. Anyway, yeah, and so like this is the first time a professor has ever like even mentioned taking an exam at an earlier date, because like usually professors are like, you know, vacation is not an excuse for taking the exam earlier, you know. But I feel like my professor is also in the same boat, where he's just like, I just want to stop.
That's why I get the book.
I don't want to grade these people's work.
But they live here, though, you know what I mean?
Well, they probably go on like actual vacations.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them go to the resort houses. Come
They
on
go to
now.
Miami or some shit. You know, go clubbing. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow.
What is something popular now that annoys you? I feel like it's kind of hard to annoy Mario.
Cryptocurrency.
Well,
You're wrong.
honestly, is that still like a really big thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
like-
tell me about it.
Oh, like there was this recent thing with iShowSpeed, and like they tried to get him to advertise this cryptocurrency, and he didn't mute his mic, and then the fans were also on the stream. They were saying "L scam" and stuff like that, and then the creator of that scam made like this shitty apology video that wasn't even apologizing. Like bro was saying, "Oh, like these bots and stuff like that, these trolls were getting in the way of something." He was like, "Oh, like I mean well with this project and stuff like that." Like, no, bro. Like you're just trying to scam people. I hate people that try to scam others and just walk away with a lot of cash. Like that's not even something that's like worth applauding over, even if they do succeed in doing that.
Yeah. How much time do you spend on the internet?
Okay, let me check. Let me check my screen time.
Check.
I feel like I spend so much time on the internet.
I'd spend a good amount of time.
Whether it's
Yeah.
doing like homework and stuff. It's kind of hard when you're a computer scientist to
Yeah.
avoid screens. And YouTube, texting people. Like, I feel like everything's done on the internet these days.
Do you fear that your eyesight's gonna get worse throughout the course of your lifetime as you just stare into a screen?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever go blind, but I can go blinder,
Blind.
more blind.
Yeah. I spend an average of 6 hours, 36 minutes. Sorry, I'm sick, by the way. On my phone. Yeah. Not that much. It's still a lot, though.
What about your computer?
Oh, I haven't checked my computer. Maybe because I spend more time on my computer than I do on my phone.
Yeah.
Who had the biggest impact on the person you have become?
This is a
Ooh,
tough question
It's
for
too
me.
easy.
Yeah, that's a very tough one.
s- I say my mom. Like, hands down.
Mama.
Like, who's fed me? My mama. Who made sure I go to school, which was literally just crossing the street. My mama.
I thought you went to school in Manhattan.
No. Like, my elementary school was.
Oh,
My elementary school was literally across the street from my building.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's not school. I know which one you're talking about now.
Who made sure like I was on top of my homework? My mama. My mom also got me into my charter school, and she was the one who kept like bothering me to like do my work in high school, like even though like my motivation was going down. It's because like the culture in my high school was like they're like not really fond of like education. It's like more so like hanging out and like doing some other shit, which I'm not gonna say.
Being mischievous.
Being mischievous, yeah. It's just like people are just okay with just passing. Like they'll go to summer school and just as long as they just move on to the next grade, they don't give two dams. It was like my mom really held down the fort, and like, yeah, she's the only parent that's really. I have a mom and dad, but like my dad barely does stuff besides like. I will say my dad barely does stuff. He just walks the dogs.
Shout
And,
out
like-
to Maria's dad.
Yeah. My dad's still around. Yeah, my mom kept him around even though like I found out like he's cheated on her twice and stuff like that. Yeah, it's really tough. Like I found out September 1st last year was when I found out my dad cheated on my mom. And then I was sobbing like crazy. It's just
Bro, do we gotta cut the episode? You good, bro?
no,
Yeah.
I
I'm
feel like
good.
this is way
Yes,
personal,
yeah.
bro.
I'm good, but like, yeah, my mom is like the one I mainly try to make proud. Like even though like I have two older siblings who've done the college grind already and like they're pretty well off right now because they worked hard for it, I still want to make a good impression for my mom. And like even though I'm not the youngest kid in the family, I have a little sister. I'm the baby of the family.
Damn.
Which is why I will say my mom has had the biggest impact and she loves me the most.
That's sweet.
Okay.
Shout out to all the moms in the
Yeah,
world.
shout out to all the moms out there.
And what about you two? Who do you think?
Biggest impact
Yeah.
on the person that I have become.
I feel like, damn, there's so many
There's
people.
so many. Yeah, exactly. There are so many people. It's just hard to pinpoint it to one person.
The biggest impact. Like I feel like it's kind of hard not to just go to my mom as well.
Yeah. I would say in terms of like personal, well-being, probably my mom, because like being responsible, doing your thing, like your personal stuff, like whether it be like I don't know, laundry or like taking care of yourself physically and mentally. I think that my mom has contributed a lot to that. But in terms of like, sort of my pursuit of goals and what I want to do in life, I think that that'd probably be one of my uncles who lives in Mexico, who I would visit every year before COVID. Yeah, because like before that, I was like very like closed off in terms of like not wanting to pursue any opportunities whatsoever. I was kind of just like, yeah, I was very stubborn back then. I didn't really like open myself up to anything really. But then once I started seeing my uncle more and more, then that's when I started opening up myself to a lot of more like new things and people and all of that stuff, and just how to navigate with other people and just how to navigate life in general. He gave a lot of insight on that, and it honestly made me realize how much of an asshole I was back then too, because I was pretty mean. Not gonna lie, like I feel like you guys, if you met me when I was like in freshman year of high school, you wouldn't recognize me like at all, bro. But no, yeah, I feel like there. I can't name one person, but I can name two people when it comes to this. So.
Bro, Miguel, if you were with me in middle school, I would have ate your lunch.
I probably would have like slapped you.
He would have just.
I used to be hungry too during middle school. Like I would ask one of my friends if I could have his lunch, even if he would say no, I would like take a bite out of it.
Gotta sustain yourself, bro.
No,
But not at the cost of others, bro.
bro, I was so hungry, motherfucker, back then. But yeah, what about you, Mike?
I mean, aside from my parents, I feel like my parents kind of gave me like the fundamental values I have. Just, from their actions and kind of like how I was raised. And like aside from that though, aside from that, you might have to adjust the microphone to.
It's okay. He'll just.
No, you're good. You're good. I definitely had teachers who played a big part of my life. And also like a large reason that I have an interest in pursuing education as a career is because I've had such amazing teachers. Especially in high school. And then also like my girlfriend now has played such a big role in kind of getting me through like probably what was one of the hardest times of my life back in 2020. Damn, it's 2 years ago. And like I've definitely changed a lot since then. So it's like I have a bit of like a recency bias, I'd say, because my teachers and my girlfriend have kind of had the biggest impacts on the person who I am now. But like the OG's got to be my parents.
Yeah.
And then like I've had some like awesome friends throughout the years too, who've kind of like influenced like things that I do. And I'm lucky that I never really had any bad influences, or the ones that were maybe questionable. I was able to like navigate.
Detach yourself from
Yeah.
No, I feel you. I had plenty of bad influences in my life. Yeah, and I'm actually surprised, like retrospectively, how
I was a menace.
like how I managed to escape that, because like looking, like in the moment, I thought that's who I was. You know what I mean? And like in the moment, I was like, "This is who I am." Like fuck everyone. Like like I don't want anyone else's opinion about who I am or whatever. This is who this is me. If you don't like me, then get the fuck out. But looking back at it, I'm like, damn. Like I really, like, I am glad that somehow I opened my mind up to
Oh, he said my mind.
That's what's on my mind.
Dang, Miguel.
No, yeah, I like
Profound.
opened myself up to change, and I think that really did help a lot. Otherwise, I'd probably be in a very, very bad place right now.
I never would have thought that you were like a mean kid growing up. You always struck me as like kind of shy. Like,
Shy.
yeah, meeting
Bro,
you and stuff like that.
my first impression of Miguel is I come to the GCS house, and he's like, "Can I carry your bags upstairs?" I thought you were like one of the student workers or whatever. You were just another GCS dude.
Yeah. No, I try to help. I think that helping people is probably one of the best things you can do.
Help others for sure.
Like, I know it sounds cheesy or whatever, but
nah, bro,
like
it's valid.
It is valid. Like, just helping other people, and obviously, doing it, not doing it for really
performative
reasons. Like, like, fuck it. Like, you want to be able to help other people.
Or like, I guess I have to do this.
Yeah, or like, for any sort of obligation, like, it just feels good. It just genuinely feels good to help people because, like, if you were in someone else's shoes and you needed help, you would want it, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, you don't know how rough people can have it, especially, like,
yep.
If you don't really know them that well. And, just being able to, like, lend a helping hand, I think, is probably one of the best things that we can do for each other and for yourself. So,
yeah, and sometimes, like, it's 100% fine, like, how I go about it. Like, I feel like I will help people, and, like, I feel like you shouldn't expect anything in return. It's just, like, just you being a good person means that you're willing to set time aside just to help that friend. Like, like earlier, like
earlier today, this guy, he went out with me while it was raining and windy to do a shoot for a film that I have to do for a final project, and like he what's it called? He stuck up.
Yeah.
He showed up. We went down to the train tracks or whatever. We filmed, and that was that. And I really, really appreciate it because without him, I don't know how I would have come up with any other project. So, yeah. That was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I just got super drenched. And being drenched while sick. That's not the vibe, but it had to be done.
Yeah. I appreciate the sacrifice. Really
Mario is the title of the episode, a true homie.
Mario, a true homie.
Yeah.
I like that.
A true homie.
Okay, next question.
All right, so what's the best way to discover new music? Just like completely flipping.
I feel like how I discover new music is through memes. And it's like
fair.
so
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, like I remember, like I never would have listened to Lil Yachty's like pull-in song. It wasn't like goofy memes. I was like, I took the walk to Poland. It's like so stupid. But like after a few memes, like I'll just start saying it.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It's like those songs that are like, it makes no sense, but as long as it's catchy, like you just vibe with it.
Yeah. I feel like lately I've kind of been like on like a rediscovery kind of pattern where I'm not really finding new songs that are like coming out now or getting popular now, but more so rediscovering songs that I've remembered being like into or kind of like that was around. Don't you dare press that point. Yeah, but like just kind of like I think I've not really listened, or like a lot of the new music that I've discovered were probably before 2000, I don't know, like 15, 16. And it's just like I think it's interesting because it's like I knew these songs, right? Like they played on the radio. They were like I don't know, in like stores and stuff. Like I don't know. It's just like a bunch of different songs that like maybe I played on Guitar Hero a while back, and I'm just like, or my mom was playing while cleaning or whatever, and like things that I didn't really knew that I picked up and like learned to recognize until I randomly come across it one day, and I'm like, damn, that's a throwback.
Yeah, like Kids by MGMT. Anyways,
dude, I discovered that song because someone had put it on their story. And I was all like, yo, this is a vibe.
Yeah.
And then I looked into it and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite throwbacks ever. No, I would say there are several ways
the word.
There are several best ways to discover new music.
Oh, right,
One of them
that's the
is
question.
video games
Oh yeah.
especially the old EA titles like FIFA,
FIFA.
NBA. Also, not just
Rocket League.
Rock.
Oh.
Like the Need for Speed games. They had
That was funny.
the Need for Speed games.
Dude,
they
Need
had
for Speeds. Yeah.
Gran Turismo,
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. There you go. What is
Freaking
it?
in the car
Indie?
music.
What's the fucking radio station?
I don't know, bro. I haven't played. The last Grand Theft Auto I played was Vice City on the PS2.
This sounds fun. You know, like the radio stations.
Yeah.
Like you'll be listening to what's it called? To Lady by Mojo or whatever they're called while you're driving around Los Santos. But no, yeah, video games, movies and TV shows.
Movies. Yep.
Yep. Better Call Saul. Milestone by Shook.
Oh my gosh, can I play copyrighted music?
No.
Okay.
Anyways, music. So, video games, TV shows. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. I guess just like randomly browsing YouTube too. You know how like you get recommendations for like random music videos. You know, you just click it and then all of a sudden it's just catchy to you or whatever.
Yeah. Also,
So-
I also kind of sometimes would just go back and listen to like old albums of groups that like, or when I discover a new group and then I listen back to their music that they made like a while ago. And then from there I kind of like discover new stuff. That's also kind of like a fun way if you have time just to like really sit down and just listen to a bunch of different songs that you may or may not have heard before. I don't know. For me, music is just like a fun thing. I always love getting like recommendations and stuff. And I don't know. Like I feel like I can truly listen to anything, except for that one South Park. What was it called? The
Okay.
Stone Park or whatever.
The fuck? It had a weird title.
Like I do have like boundaries, but generally they're pretty broad and like I can listen to most things.
Do this in the country.
Some
Country.
I do
You
mess with
actually
some
confess?
songs. I do mess with some
confess?
songs.
Oh, it's called Radio Mirror Park. That's the radio station.
Radio Mirror Park.
Where I got all of my, or like, pretty good amount of songs that I like. So yeah, that's from DJ5. No, yeah, and I don't know. It's just scary to think how much music there is out there because you like to think that the music that you have with you now is like, okay, this is what I like, this is what I'm gonna like listen to for the rest of my life, and then all of a sudden you find like a new song, you're like, damn, this is like, good. Like you just like go on a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And then, it's just crazy how much music there's out there. So yeah, that's what I think about
Music.
music.
Next question. Would you rather be rich and never find true love or be poor and find true love?
I mean,
I'm already poor.
yeah, I'm
so
already
might
poor.
As well, like, might as well go down that alley.
nothing to lose. Now, what if my true love becomes rich? Then, like, I become rich by extension, even though I would technically.
He's thinking outside the box.
Why not be rich and find true love? That's why we go to college. That's why we find the opportunities that that's the idea, right? Social mobility, especially for us who come from lower brackets of society.
Yeah.
It's the idea. That's kind of like why we leave our homes. And
Us,
yeah.
Yeah, us gremlins, we're going to persevere.
It's the American dream.
Who's the funniest person you've met?
Oh,
Mario.
I think I'd say Mario. Mario, hands down,
Hands
bro.
down.
Not even a question.
I'd say the funniest person I met is Erickson.
He is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Shout out to Erickson.
Though
I have no idea who this man is.
he stereotypes Miguel 24/7.
He's more on the edgier side of humor.
I can appreciate edgy humor until someone gets canceled about it. Then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, okay. Nah, I don't associate with you.
Yeah, high school, like I was kind of like a loner, and then like I met Erickson, and then Erickson like allowed me to open up more, and like my humor is like very similar to his. So, but like
Yeah.
Miguel said, he's a little more edgier than me.
Yeah.
If you,
I don't know if we really get through here. On a regular day.
he just like loves poking fun at people.
Yeah, he's he's like that.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Where you got?
Time freezes for everyone but you for one day. What do you do? For one day. You have 24 hours. You have 24 hours, but everyone else
I see.
stops.
Okay.
It's a very good question. I don't know.
Wait, hold up. So, time freezes for everyone.
Robert Bank. See, the
No, I'm
thing
kidding.
is, they'll
No, I'm
find
kidding.
out that money is missing, and I feel
Well,
like
it happened in an instant. I don't know what happened to it.
The cameras can't pick up on that.
It's like the Flash.
well, everyone freezes, but do the cameras freeze?
I would assume so.
I mean,
and like time.
yeah, because like
It runs
if
on,
they
like,
record in like 60 FPS,
They don't
then
record in 60 FPS.
let's say they do.
Okay.
Electricity takes time to like
Well,
run.
like how many frames would you need if you simulated a day in 1 second?
Bro, look, like not even a second passes. Time is frozen.
It's just this is such a like this like if we were talking about this scientifically or like theoretically in terms of like theoretical.
Like, can cameras capture like
Physics.
slow mo cameras? Like, can they capture you?
Oh my God, wait, hold on.
No.
Because like I feel like in regular cameras, you might just like if you were to appear, it might just be like invisible to our eye.
No, you can't do any. You can't really do much. Like you can't like really use your technology.
I would sleep.
You can't use your technology.
Honestly, that's probably what I would do. I would just like have a day where I do nothing, like absolutely nothing.
I feel
The
like
only
that's a
thing I
boring
would
answer
do-
though.
Well, I mean, what
Yeah.
can you do? Like you
I
just
don't know.
walk around and like
Yeah.
see everyone frozen.
I feel like it's also kind of boring if you don't really know what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
Like this is something you can't really like. I feel like,
it's a once in a lifetime. You can record people being frozen and like you walking around while you're being frozen.
but what if your
But your
camera just like
technology
doesn't,
doesn't work.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh shit!
So it's like you're just
So
doing
then does
nothing.
light like not travel? Like
Exactly. Like how would this work?
What?
Like, how would
You just
continuous
define
light
physics.
work?
You're
Exactly.
literally-
It's
you're
I
just
feel like
literally-
we're thinking about this way
You're literally
too.
moving faster than light at that point, and then like
Literally.
wait, look. If everything if everything resumes right, and then you have already like traveled that distance, like energy's gonna like catch up and stuff like that because energy is
Do you think
conserved.
like the force would like
yeah,
kill
it's
you?
like I think the force would be like you
Jeez.
decimate the whole area.
Yeah, what if like the planet freezes too? Like, cause you know the planet is in constant movement around, like
So, like-
orbiting the sun, and then
so,
the
like,
sun
if-
orbiting the
if- yeah.
Milky Way. So like, if time just freezes right now, and you're the only thing moving, then you're gonna be like launched. I don't know however fast the Earth is going to outer space. So it's like, what are we talking about here?
you just get yeeted. That's
It's
so
just like
Because you have like right now,
23
yeah.
hours.
oh,
That was the lightest sensor.
oh yeah, that was the one.
So it's like, you know, like talking about like, because if the Earth freezes too and like frozen in time and space, then you're just gonna go flying because of all
This
the
is like
momentum that you have.
Any physicist out there, like, let me know.
Leave a comment down below.
Let me know.
what
I'm
happened.
very interested. Like, what happens? Like, does your energy, like, because like you need energy to move, right?
Yeah.
But like, energy, I believe, is based. Maybe it's somewhat related to time. So like, if you don't have time, like for example, your velocity, right, is based on the distance you travel per second.
Yeah.
It's like it's measured for the most part in meters per second.
Yeah, per second. There's 0 seconds. That's
exactly.
impossible.
So it's like
You define logic.
like your velocity would be crazy like high. And like, what are the impacts of that on the rest of like the world around you?
infinite speed for real.
Yeah.
That'd be
Leave a comment down below.
that'd be
Let us
fun.
know.
It's a little fun like thought experiment.
Anyways, next question.
What is the last thing you purchased?
Okay. Let's see.
The bank account.
I think I helped buy the pancake mix and stuff yesterday.
What did I buy? What did?
But the last thing I bought for myself, I think, is an external hard drive for my computer.
I don't know. I actually don't remember. I know. I paid for a membership recently.
Dude, my shit fucking has no space.
Yeah.
Sad.
The last thing I bought was a membership for a gym,
Oh, sick.
like the monthly subscription.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, last thing I bought was like I shared. Oh, I Venmoed Diana money for a bus ride back to campus. Yeah, had to get back on this building
Fine.
campus.
yo, time to get politically charged.
Man,
Okay, Michael.
I do not like this question.
Just then generate a new one, bro.
No, we have to answer this question because he's an education
Damn it.
coordinator major.
How can governments make education more efficient? I don't like this question because it's like, what do you mean more efficient?
Yeah, more
Like-
efficient for them, or more efficient for the children, or like the people.
This is too vague.
These are two very different.
This is like
Yes.
such a broad, like anyone can interpret it a different way.
Yeah.
Next
And
question.
it just doesn't make any sense. And by the way, I feel like if change were to happen, I wouldn't know
you're
about the
funny.
government.
You're funny.
Do you prefer fiction or nonfiction books?
I don't read.
Me neither.
I used to read once upon a time. I was such a bookworm, dude. Like elementary school me was built different. I would read like
That's it.
I don't know if you guys ever had like AR points.
Oh yeah.
8 points.
Like your
AR
reading
points.
level.
Yeah, like that. So basically, accelerated reading, accelerated reading.
Yes.
Where you take a quiz for like a book and then you get points based off of it, and then based on the books that you read and like a test that you take, you get assigned like a reading level. And I remember in 5th grade I was at 11 point something, which meant like the 11 stood for the grade you were at, so like 12 was the highest you can go, and then the point was how many months into that like year you were in. So like 11.9 would be like I'm 9 months in to like being a student, because I think that's how long the school year is. Because then you have 3 months for summer. You know, it kind of makes sense. And so when I was in 5th grade, I was like an 11.4, 11.6, something around that range. And that's just because I read a lot, like a lot. I think my 4th grade year, I had racked up almost 500 AR points, which most quizzes give you 1 to like 5. And so I did that in a span of like a school year. And so I was on that grind.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a personal competition between some friends and I, but I don't know. Like I might have burnt myself out because then I like stopped reading for fun. But I definitely prefer nonfiction. I do like fiction. I do like stories that are like with made up worlds and things like that.
I like fiction too. It's reflected in video games. I rather play like there's no non-fiction. Well, I never seen like a non-fiction video game.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
guess,
go on, Miguel.
like any sports game would count as nonfiction.
I guess, but in the same time, it's like it's not.
It's not.
no.
Because like you can make your own teams and stuff. It's like these
Maybe.
players aren't gonna be
Yeah.
in the same team.
Dream
guess-
battles.
Dream battles, yeah.
What's the worst movie you have seen recently?
I still say it's gotta be the Black Widow movie. I haven't
Oh
seen
my-
it recently, but
Recently?
Bro, we
that's-
watched that like a year ago, dude.
it's still abysmal to this day.
What movies have I seen recently?
Barbarian.
Is that what you would say?
I have to really think about this because I'm also taking into consideration the movies I watched for class. So
I can't remember the last. Generally, whenever I watch movies, it's because I like choose to watch them and like I want to watch them. And so because of that, I feel like I kind of leave. Like I've never really left a movie unhappy, if that makes sense.
Even like your worst experience.
I can't think of what my worst experience was. You know, like I can't remember where like I was genuinely disappointed with like, and like upset and mad even. Like I can't imagine.
You have watched Morbius, that's why. So
I have not watched Morbius.
you don't watch that.
I need to watch that too.
I would say most recently, probably I don't know. Barbarian was just. It was very superficial. I think it was. I mean, it wasn't really even scary. It was just disturbing. And the message that it tried to send about, like rape or whatever.
What the fuck?
Did you watch it?
No.
You didn't? I thought you watched it.
No. I know you guys watched it.
Oh,
You guys watched
okay.
it in like
I don't
your
know
room
why
or
I thought
whatever.
you were
I
there.
watched VHS with
I
you
don't
guys
know.
last night.
Yeah, we watched VHS. I don't know. That was
a-
also. Yeah, that was a trip. But it wasn't as bad as Barbarian.
You should have pulled up Mario.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Nah, I mean you're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't really miss out on much, but at the same time you did.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Barbarian is just so, like, I feel like the message, this is obviously a critique, not taken for fact, but in my opinion, I just think that it was very superficial the way it presented its themes. It's like pretty straightforward, there's this evil guy, or like, there's like no depth to it. It's just everything is kind of laid in front of you. Even when it tries to hide something, you're like, it's obvious that it's that, or like, it's
Like
kind of
Marvel
predictable.
movies.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Nah, bro, I love Marvel movies.
And horror, I mean, this is going more on a rant, but just like horror movies today are just very, I don't know, there's just
Too
something
cliche?
about them. Yeah, they're just becoming so sterile. Like, it's just been so sterilized to jump scares and sort of like,
It's all cliche.
Creepy, disturbing images.
yeah, creepy, disturbing images.
The
like,
music is like the
like,
biggest part
like
about it.
ominous environments. Like, okay, I get it. We're in a horror movie. Like, where's the scary stuff? So it's just like, you can't really feel scared because you already know what, like, I mean, it's not that you already know what's gonna happen. It's just that you know how it's going to be.
Yes.
Like the horror viewing experience. Like, nothing really jumps out to you. Nothing really actually terrifies you because you've like, especially like if you watch horror movies frequently, which I don't even do that. It's just that you just expect it. You expect some sort of development going towards the horror, I guess, archetype when it comes to making these
Yeah.
movies. It's like you have your protagonist, and then there's obviously something wrong. They might have like some supporting characters who get like sort of absorbed by that supernatural being, like supernatural horror, whatever it is, and then protagonists they like come up with a clever way to like fight this whatever they're trying to fight, and then at the end it's like there's either the protagonist wins, or either they end up being the monster the whole time. It's like so predictable. Like it kind of just, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there should be a sort of revolution in terms of like the
Yeah.
horror genre, like
So-
reconstruction within the genre, because I feel like it's just going downhill every single day.
Yeah.
So the same thing with comedy.
Comedy?
Yeah.
Shit, I love comedy. But so what was that like? What does that look like then? Like, how do you reinvent horror?
You experiment. I think that experimenting is probably one of the biggest things, because that's another thing too. Like, people are, or at least I think the reason why people don't experiment with horror or experiment with any sort of genre is for the budget, or like for the money. Because you can make something very simple, very straightforward,
We're looking at you, Pokemon.
like people would watch it, and it doesn't even matter if they like it or like it not. They're still gonna watch it. They're still gonna pay whatever the subscription is or whatever the ticket is to go watch this movie. That's that is probably gonna be mediocre, and they still get paid. They still get their bag. So it's like they have no incentive to actually go out of their boundaries and create something more experimental, because they obviously has the opportunity to fail, and if it does fail, then that's on them. So it's just like we would much rather just be safe and just repeat, like rinse and repeat, and not have to deal with experimenting or having to sort of go another avenue when it comes to just, horror movies. And the same thing with comedy. And I guess you can argue for like any genre really. Because I know I've noticed it in action movies as well, where it's like pretty like you can subconsciously like standardize genres, that you can subconsciously standardize genres the more movies you watch of that genre.
Yeah.
So it's like,
romantic comedies.
Like you're able to recognize like archetypes, and I think, and I'm not saying it's bad, but I think that they're really overdoing it with like most movies these days, and it comes to a point where it's just so predictable. Like it's just like, why?
What are your thoughts on the like the idea that there's people trying to produce a horror Winnie the Pooh movie?
I think
I would probably watch that. I mean, like exactly, like that's what I'm saying. Like experimenting. It's like you put two ideas that are, they don't have to be completely irrelevant, but that you just want to be able to create something new, and see how it works. Because if you don't create something new, then it's just gonna be very bland. Like you're gonna have the same thing over and over and over again. Which is why I really like Everything Everywhere All at Once, because like that movie was pretty refreshing in terms of how they approached their their sort of. I mean, because it is an action movie in some ways. It is an action movie in some ways, but it's not like your standard action movie. Like it's just so different. Like everyone's talking about Everything Everywhere All at Once because it's just such a different movie. Like, it's another experience. Like it really detaches itself from any sort of genre, and it just like puts you in this situation where that has never like been, that you've never been put in before. Essentially, I mean, obviously it has its influences from other films, but like I feel like that film is a good example of like sort of just experimenting with genre and experimenting with what sort of narrative is and how to make something from all these different like things that don't necessarily have to relate each other.
Yeah, that was the first movie that made me cry. Actually,
It's
it's a good ass movie. Like it's like
genuine opinion. I think it's probably one of the best movies I've watched.
'Cause it's like-
so far.
it's like not only is it all that multiverse stuff, like hopping around, like embodying all these different personalities from alternate timelines, but it's also like a mother-daughter story essentially, and it's like cultural ties, talking about like the struggle, because it's not like this well-off family. It starts with like this poor family who just runs a laundromat, and then the premise is, well, I'm not gonna get too much into the premise. Just watch the film. It's just
watch it. It's an experience worth watching. I think even if you don't, even if you're not necessarily like a movie person, I think it's just very cool. Like it kind of reminds me of like a theme park ride. Really. So if you haven't watched it, I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah, you just don't have any expectation just walking into it if you don't know what it's about. It's like there's no other movie that I've seen like that resembles it. I don't even know what genre to classify as.
So that's my film rant for the day. Anyways,
Film majors.
I feel like it kind of ties back to all the drama that's happening with Pokemon, the Pokemon company right now. Essentially, the newest titles of Pokemon released November 19th. It came out like a couple weeks ago, and there's kind of been like an issue that the Pokemon community has had with Game Freak, who are like the developers of the game, and also the Pokemon company, because it's like the games that they're releasing are rushed and unfinished, and at first, like before I had even played the game, like I tried to defend them. I'm like, well, this and that. But then I played through the game myself, and I didn't really find any like truly crazy experiences that I've seen on like social media, like the clips of just like, I feel like the people who post those clips are people who are purposefully trying to break the game to get those clips and then be like, this game is ass, you know? But like, like if you're just like a regular kind of going through like a regular playthrough of the game, it has like issues for sure, but it's not as bad. And I like it's very kind of hard for me as like I mean, I've been playing Pokemon since I was like 7. So it's like I've kind of grew up with these games and like I've seen them evolve and I've had fun with every single one that I've played. And so like I have huge bias, right? Like I've been playing for a while, but like I'm starting to kind of like understand now because they pump these games out like every year. They pump one game every single year. And the problem with that is lately like kind of what you were saying with like how movies follow like a formula that makes it very predictable. Pokemon was the exact same way. They changed it up with Sun and Moon where it's like, okay, we're getting rid of gym leaders and now you have to fight these island challenges. And that was like a bit of a refreshing experience. And then with Generation 8, you had Sword and Shield and they were like, okay, we're gonna now make Pokemon available in like the open world, where like you can run, and instead of like going into the grass and running around in circles until you find like a Pokemon randomly, like you can see them like out in the game, like in the world, and it just kind of makes it a lot more immersive. And now with this generation 9, now they're going for the approach of like, we got rid of those random encounters completely, and now every Pokemon you encounter is going to be in the overworld. In fact, we're making this game completely open world where you can explore the game how you want. And like Pokemon is in the past couple of years have definitely been making like huge strides towards like new ideas. And like the only issue is that they are trying to do this with such a time crunch. Like I feel like if they, because right now their formula with the releases is you have one game that's like the base game, right, of that generation. The next year you pump out a spin-off. The second year or the third year, I guess, you pump out like DLC or something. And then after the generation has lived on for 3 years, another generation. And that's how it's been since like it's been like that, I think, for like the longest time. And like back then, you know, they were making games on the Game Boy and on the DS, and so they like it wasn't as like I don't know, like they didn't really have much standards to meet to compared to like what PS5 and Xbox games look like now. Now, obviously, Pokemon has never been a game about the graphics. It's always been about the gameplay. And that's probably one of the biggest things going for it, because even though it looks like ass, it is fun as hell to play. And now with like the performance issues that they're having with this current game, like now the game isn't as fun to play. And so it's getting harder to kind of defend and justify Pokemon. And the thing is like, it's not that Game Freak are like terrible developers. It's just that they have the money to do it. Because I mean, Pokemon is probably like the biggest company, in like the world. And like they have the money, they have the resources to get something like amazing done. The only resource they're not really given is time. And by like the stress to like meet the deadline. And so because of that, we're starting to get buggier games that, like, you know, when you're working on a game for the Switch, and like we've had titles like Breath of the Wild and like Super Mario Odyssey that are like open world, but they do so in like a really good way that looks good and plays very well in terms of like the hard, like not lagging and things like that. But for whatever reason, Pokemon is just like buggy as hell. You have like visual glitches, and it's just like sometimes like I have experienced some things where like I take down a Pokemon, and like I see the HP bar go like all the way down, and then on the next turn it's like halfway through again. I'm like, what the hell? And it's just like that's bullshit. Like, you know, the game's lying to me basically. and it makes it very frustrating when it's like, I think I got this, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I guess I don't. And so it's like, the thing is that I don't think Game Freak has the luxury of asking for an extension.
Yeah, because they're under big.
It's probably like a big contractor. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
like, and then people have been pushing where, you know, other developers, like I think Ilka they developed Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, which were remakes of the 4th generation games that came out on the DS, Diamond and Pearl. And what they released, I mean, like I don't think it's Game Freak's fault necessarily, but I do think they kind of have some to blame for, like, you know, like I've learned in software engineering that to make high quality applications, you need a lot of testing, and like testing is like one of the biggest processes, or like the biggest part of the process.
Yeah.
And I just feel like a lot of these issues can be fixed if they just had time to test. And then there's also the thing with like leaks. Leaks got out like a month before the game was even out. And then that also kind of hurts like the element of surprise for some things. And like the marketing of the game. And so that I feel like because of that, like it also pushes them to like, we got to beat the leaks, you know, we got to publish the game as fast as we can. And then what you end up getting is just like a half-assed game that I will say this Pokemon game, Scarlet and Violet, I played Violet, which the premise of these games is that Pokemon Scarlet, you have like the theme is the past, and in Violet, the theme is the future.
Yeah.
And there's like version differences in the story and like the Pokemon you can find based off of that. And I got Violet because the legendary looks way more badass. But yeah. And I gotta say, like, this was probably the best story in Pokemon. I mean, like, it's not really a hot take, but I mean, like, it's like I played the game, and like the end, like the last hour of gameplay before you like see the credits and stuff were amazing. It was like, holy shit, like this looks like where they put all their efforts in, and it showed. And it was like I think, like, it wasn't necessarily like holy shit, like mind blowing, but at the same time I was all like I was smiling the whole time I was playing the game. And like that is what I look for, and like I was genuinely having fun. And like, you know, a lot of people kind of shit on the Pokemon cutscenes because they take too long, they don't have voice acting, which I think they could benefit from voice acting, but then you got to think like you got to hire voice actors for every language, which I mean you can't do with the money you have, but like
I also want to rush it, so
right. And so there's like just so many like different factors that kind of play into it, but ultimately what like even brought me to this conversation is like how you were talking about reinventing a genre. And I feel like Pokemon in itself is a genre. Like they kind of invented their own version of RPGs with like the catch 'em all system that a lot of people have tried and like have failed to replicate. And that's what also kind of sucks, is that you like when you want like a really good Pokemon experience, like there aren't many like alternatives to play. And another thing is like the community has made ROM hacks, which sound like bad, but they're not. They're basically community created games based on the originals, where like, you know, talented communities like they flesh out their own stories and they flesh out their own. Sometimes they made fan-made Pokemon like designs and stuff, and we call those Fakemons. That sound like such a nerd right now.
Well, we're all nerds in here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, anyway,
So-
and they, you know, they increase the difficulty because at the end of the day, Pokemon is a game for kids. And like, I don't know, like, I just think Pokemon is at the stage right now where they're trying to reinvent their formula, and they're trying to reinvent it in like a very positive direction, I'd say. But their issue is like the thing that's prohibiting them from really like being well like received. Like I think IGN gave them a 6 out of 10 on like
that's IGN. Never trust IGN.
I will never trust them.
but like I'm just saying that like they also rated Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire 7 out of 10 because the game had too much water.
Oh yeah,
That's its own story, but like that's one of my favorite games on the 3DS.
Oh, God.
And so anyway,
Water.
but like 6 out of 10, their reasoning was because of all the performance issues and stuff, which I think is valid in the sense that like if you're paying $60 for like a brand new game and for it to be as buggy and as like laggy as it was, like I think Metroid Prime 4 is a game that Nintendo fans or Metroid fans have been waiting on for years.
Forever.
And
Yeah.
it keeps getting extended because like they want to make it as perfect of a game as possible.
Yeah.
And like Pokemon doesn't have that luxury, I don't think. But if they did, I feel like they could have really fleshed out this game. And then of course you also have to keep in mind that they're also making the games with the purpose of adding DLC to it. And so they're not going to give you an unfinished game, or they're going to give you an unfinished game so that you can buy and then you spend like another $30 and like it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the reasons why I stopped like playing video games. It's just really
Expensive.
yeah, it gets expensive and it's just not the same.
Talking to
anymore.
you,
I mean,
2K, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
What?
No, go on.
Go?
No, Mario hasn't
Mario,
talked in a
go.
while.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, I don't like franchises like God of War, for instance. Like it used to be like I don't even know what the right term is. It's just like a beat 'em up game. It's like you just
Beat the shit
like
out of
you just have
It's like the Ninja Turtle one.
Yeah.
hordes of enemies, and then you just like slash your way through, and then like they reinvented it like with Norse mythology, and they just changed like the overall mechanics of like how to like play God of War, and change the character of Kratos. It's like stuff like that, like reinventing, that really piques people's interest. Like, well, it has like OG fans on the fence at first. Like once they have a playthrough of their own, like they could see the beauty that the new way of like fighting and like the new changes to storytelling really impacts their views on like franchises like God of War. But like you were talking about, like every 3 years they turn out a new mechanism, new game with its own mechanisms. I feel like games that like try to like release yearly, for example, like Call of Duty with new gimmicks and stuff like that games that are like basically unfinished, where you would have to buy like loot boxes or like DLC to like get a more whole game, is just like BS, because it's like people are like drowning in all these new gimmicks. It's like it takes time to adjust. It takes time to like get used to like the changes. But people really don't have that luxury, because it's like, oh well, this game will be like outdated by the time the new game releases the following year. It's like innovation. That's something that should be delivered like over the course of many years. Like I wouldn't want like my Spider-Man game that I got in 2018 to be like the same type of game I'm playing when the sequel comes out 2023. I want it to have like new mechanics that doesn't feel rushed, and it has that longevity to it that I could keep like enjoying it without having to worry about me spending another $60+ on a third game, for instance. It's like new gimmicks, yes, but don't just churn out these new gimmicks while also like leaving fans unsatisfied because like Michael was saying, like there's all these bugs and stuff like that. It's just BS. Like give the fans what they want. Like if like real fans, they would wait so many years just to get a perfect experience. Like that's just what differentiates like true fans from like the impatient ones. And they want to see that their franchise is being taken care of. It's in the right hands. So yeah, that's my take.
I mean, I don't even think it's the fans. I think it's just
The money.
the money. Yes, everything is about money. Like when it comes to making a video game.
You good, bro?
Like, when it comes to making a video game, you know, now it's just money. I mean, because like trust me, yeah, these new games are all fancy and all, but I'll just stick to my Fallout New Vegas and Minecraft and like.
But wait.
I don't know, like what else?
But look, like there's successful franchises like GTA 5, for instance.
Yeah,
Like
but like that was released in what
A long ass time ago.
2010s, early 2010s.
They are making GTA 6, right?
I don't know.
they are gonna release like eventually. I don't know. And then like the,
Well,
next,
like, you know,
the next 2 days. I mean, next 2 years.
Like I can't think of a single game that has been released in the past 4 years that has been actually like memorable. Like I think the most memorable games for me.
Did you play Hades?
80s,
Hades?
80s,
Hades.
80s. No,
That game was fun as fuck.
like it's
This
just
is one of those roguelike games where it's like you go through a bunch of like dungeons and stuff. You fight all the enemies, move on to the next room. If you die, you start all over.
that sounds fun. Yeah, but no, it's just like I think. Like games are just not made how they were used to. They were back then. I feel like, yeah, and that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why I just stopped playing any video games whatsoever. I mean, I would occasionally play like Smash Bros or whatever, like any other like, game on a Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's just like it's just not. Yeah, it's just not really. I don't know. It's just like if I had to play any video game, I would probably like play anything that I was playing like during 2014 or 15 or 16. Back in middle school or high school. Like I wouldn't want to jump into a new game that was released like a couple months ago. I feel like because then you would have to actually buy the game. You would have to buy DLCs or whatever comes with it. And it's going for AAA titles. It's just like, why would I do that when I can just go to like Old Reliable where like I have hella fun.
Yeah.
Like forever. Like I can never get tired of like Fallout New Vegas, especially with like mods and stuff.
Yeah.
Like even with that, like there are mods for games that have existed. You know what I mean?
Are they released by the community or released
There's community mods.
not by like the
Not by
developers
the
themselves?
Yeah, the
And
developers
that's what ROM
mods.
hacks are for Pokemon.
Yeah, like essentially, like it's just mod. Like you can never get tired of it because there's just so much. Like even from the community, like there's just so many mods you can just like play around with. And, like it's crazy because they also make like their own like gameplay in terms of like the story.
Yeah.
Like there's communities that are like working on like full-fledged like like storylines with like voice actors and characters and like models and all that stuff, and it's just coming from a community. Like this is not coming from a developer, so it's just like it's even that much more crazier when it comes to modding old games. So it's just like, why would I buy a new game when I could just get a mod for an old game and like play that, which would be probably 2 times or like even more times as fun as a recent AAA title. But
Yeah, I feel like the games I prefer are like the older games, and like what you're talking about with the mods, it makes me want a PC even more and more, because Sony for instance, like while they have kept their games exclusive, like their exclusive titles, they just kept it to themselves on their own PlayStation devices. They have started moving their games to PC, like Spider-Man, and like they imported all these models from like Fortnite and stuff like that. And like they even created their own models for costumes and like the fighting and stuff like that. I remember seeing a Flash mod for a Spider-Man game where the character just moves super fast and shit like that, while also like being able to web swing, and like they make their own animations and stuff like that. It's pretty nostalgic, especially when they start adding like callbacks. Like the community adds callbacks to like popular movies, like the original Spider-Man trilogy. It's like wow, like getting a PC is optimal nowadays, which is what I intend to do in the future once I get my money up.
Yeah. I just pulled up the Game Awards 2022 like nominees for like Game of the Year and stuff. And for Game of the Year, like an absolute best experience across everything. I've only heard of 2, 3, 4 of these games. I've never heard of A Plague Tale Requiem. Elden Ring, I know was like really praised for. I think it's another open world game done well, Dark Souls style.
Yeah.
That's just like has high replay value, and that's the thing that I think what you were trying to get at is like having replayability
You don't want
is
to
the
play
best.
a game, like burn through it and be like, okay, I'm done. Like,
But I
you know
think
what
some
mean?
games also are like if they're built and like if you get what you pay for, like indie games are more so like that, where it's like
Exactly, yeah,
you
would pay $15 for something like that, but you wouldn't pay $60 fucking bucks for something like that. You
Yeah.
want $60 like for a game, you know, you expect that you're gonna play it for a while, right?
Right.
You're not gonna get tired of it. Obviously, you want to play like in one sitting, like you know, it's just something that you like play for a while. You're like, okay, I'm done, and then you come back to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
You don't get tired of it,
then like
so.
another thing too with that is like the culture of like spoilers and things like that. It's
Yeah.
just like it's so bad, bro. Because then it forces you to be like, I don't want to get spoiled by anything, so I'm gonna finish through it in one sitting,
Yeah.
and then it's just like it might even kill the experience because you don't have time to process and
Yeah.
like absorb the entire game for what it is.
Like you know, that was the whole point of like Half-Life 2, and like you know the. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called like Source Mod or whatever. But like the game engine that runs Half-Life 2, like they essentially turned it into a sandbox with Gmod.
Mm.
I don't know if you heard of Gmod,
Yeah.
but
Fuck
like you know,
Gmod. No, I'm joking, I love it.
like Gmod is just so fun. Like you fuck around with your friends on Gmod, like that shit never gets tired.
I only
and
heard
also
of
they
that.
have, and also have like they also have their own, like you can make games within Gmod. So it's like, you know, it's kind of like, I guess that goes on par with like Roblox and
Roblox.
sort of, like, you
Yeah.
know, like the way that people make Battlefield, you know, like type games on Roblox or whatever. It's just like, you know, having that, you know, you can never get tired of that. Like, why would you pay $60 for a Battlefield game when you can just literally play it on Roblox?
Oh god,
You know what I mean?
Roblox for life.
Yeah.
It's like,
Um.
yeah, it's a whole like.
So then, like, what makes a great game? Definitely the replayability.
Yeah.
I think it depends on like what it's for. Like, if it's a game that's telling a story, it's kind of like you wouldn't watch a movie. I mean, on some people would watch a movie like a lot times
Every
three.
year.
But like some movies, or I mean some video games like are kind of meant to be like one and done games. But I feel like most AAA games aren't. They're kind of like, you know, not only are you gonna get this, but then here's a new update that'll add this, and then guess what, we have DLC, kind of thing, and then I don't know, but like a lot of the games I play are like Mario Kart and Smash Brothers, and those are games that like you can play over and over and over again, and every single match, every single race will be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. And then you add like the DLC of new characters, you add the DLC of new tracks to play, and then you just kind of add to the fun. And that's where like I will be happy to drop $30 for new characters in Smash Bros. Or like, you know, 25 for new tracks. Well, I mean, that one came with the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass, which I have, but like that I feel like is, you know, no question must have. I feel like if you want like the game itself is already a full experience, but to have like an even more fuller experience is awesome. And then there's also games like Mario Strikers Battle League, which had some very disappointing like fans, me included, not gonna lie. When they released the game, there's only like 10 playable characters, and they said they were gonna release new updates as they go. That would add new characters, add new pitches, and you know, add more gear and whatever gimmick is in that game. But like growing up, I played Mario Strikers on the Wii, and I also played it on the GameCube back in the day. But like on the Wii, it had like its own campaign mode. It had like I don't know, like it was just like I remember playing through the campaign as a kid and losing because it was so freaking hard, or maybe I was just a noob. But like, like it was genuine. Like I mean, I really love a challenge when like I'm challenged in games, because then it like you play it over and over again and you get better. And like Mario Strikers Battle League was more of like an online oriented game where you're expected to play in like tournaments online, rather than just like the local experience of playing with your friends on the couch, which I kind of grew up doing with Nintendo games, especially. And then I had like those single player adventures with like Pokemon and things like that. But like when a game, like what makes a good game, I think is when it really tailors to its purpose. And like when the purpose is like clear, you know, like,
Yeah.
Like if you can, you know, like this is a one and done game, or this is a game that you can play again and again and again. Like when you can do that right and tailor the game to it right, while also bringing like a fresh experience, I think that's what makes like a very broad, like that's what makes a good game a good game.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think that, yeah. I don't
No
know.
cap.
We'll see how what the future holds in terms of that, because it doesn't look that bright, to be honest.
I'm excited for the Breath of the Wild 2. Tears of the Kingdom. That one, it got delayed. It was supposed to come out the end of this year, I think, and then they moved it on to spring of next year, which absolutely okay with.
Well, yeah,
I'm okay with that too.
Absolutely okay
yeah,
with.
like it's better to have something delayed than have it rushed. And
As long as it like comes out good, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna delay it and then put out a shitty game anyway, it's like, come on. But I can't think of like an example. I can't think of an example where like that's happened, where a game got delayed and then it turned it out. Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
I thought that game was rushed as hell, and that's why it was.
No, it was like it was brought up sometime in 2015, and then it took like a while to actually get it started, and then you know, eventually it got released. I guess it was the pressure because of the fact that they weren't really working on it that made them rush the project. I think.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
But I think that game is like buggy, and like that's part of what makes it fun for some people. Like I think
that's true.
That was like part of the fun, right? When like, you know, it's just like what the hell is going on kind of thing. I don't know. But then obviously there's lines to that. It's more complex. Other game of the year nominations were God of War, Ragnarok.
Fuck
that Mario was talking about. Horizon Forbidden West I've never heard of. Stray is the freaking game about the cat.
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
I saw like a stream of it one time. And you're quite literally just a cat going through like a city, and there's a story to it though. It's not just like Cat Simulator. There's like a story to it. Which
Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator added
I've never
nukes.
played that game.
Play that game. It's a good game.
Yeah.
And then Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is interesting to see a Nintendo game be nominated Game of the Year.
Xenoblade. I never played a Xenoblade.
I've never played a Xenoblade, but apparently they're like really good, and they do like. I think
Xenoblade character.
they do take their time.
Only character I know is
Shulk.
Yeah.
Who?
Shulk.
Oh yeah.
Smosh.
Game
Jump.
of the
Shield.
year by year.
Buster.
Just interested. Who's won game of the years? Oh yeah. By the way, support Wikipedia.
Yeah, donate a couple of bucks.
It's a goated website.
Yeah, it's gonna help me
I
out.
say as I click X on no.
Well, I mean, for those who can afford to donate.
Czech game of the what? British? Hello? No, give me the US. Where is it? The Game Awards.
The Game
Is
Awards.
that what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
The Witcher, Overwatch.
Well, all right. So in 2014, I guess is when it started. Wow, it takes one game of the year.
Huh.
I heard it was good, but I didn't know it was game of the year good. The only game of the year I know is the one that was in 2017 because this is goddamn one of the best Nintendo games as like ever released.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of hype for the sequel because it's like the first game
That's another thing too.
was
Is hype.
great.
People like they really like
Hype up,
Nostalgia.
GameStop
and
puts
that
even
raises
more
the
pressure.
expectations.
More pressure on a game. It's just like why? Why would you want to do that?
Yeah, but I mean, Breath of the Wild, like the thing with that game is it was so massive that like people are still finding things that were like in the game that no one else had like found before. Like just little like hidden rooms or hidden like messages and things like that. And then of course like people can like exploit the game and like have fun with it too with mods and things like that. But Breath of the Wild, I still haven't finished the game and I've had it for like 3 years now, 2 years. And then Overwatch won it in 2016.
Hell yeah.
God of War won it in 2018.
Hell yeah.
Sekiro Shadows Die
Never
Twice.
played that.
2019 The Last of Us Part 2 was 2020's game of the year. It Takes Two was 2021, and for 2022 we making predictions. I feel like Elden Ring is going to take it.
Elden Ring. Yeah.
Actually, I don't know cuz God of War came out of nowhere and was like
God of War is gonna win this one.
God of War kind of came out of nowhere and was like, I'm the best game, bitch. I've never played a God of War game. I don't know.
What time does this episode end?
We've been going for 2 hours.
Yeah, I kind of gotta do stuff, you know.
Fair enough. All right. Well then, damn, I was about to get into like the whole console exclusives, bro.
This next episode, bro.
Yeah. All right.
On the next episode.
On the next episode. So, like I said, next episode is going to be the finale. Mario, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say? Any shout outs? You have the floor.
No.
Oh, all right. Miguel, do you have your weekly shout out?
Y'all do that?
Shout out to all the nuclear engineers out there
Oh shit.
who are working on nuclear reactors that power our cities and our towns and our homes.
There you go. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been On My Mind. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.